Okay, here is a updated video on how to make the OnShape coffee mug. I have a previous video, but I'm going to start using this one in class instead. Okay, so I've already made my document. I've named it coffee mug. On Canvas and stuff, you're going to have this document embedded with the video I'm currently recording and the video down here for the curve text. Okay, so step one, we're going to create a 3.5-inch circle at the origin on the top plane, and we're going to name it base sketch. So top view, sketch on the top, center point circle, start at the origin. We're gonna make it a 3.5 still. Okay. So next up, we are going to extrude it up 4 inches. Before I do that, I'm going to rename this. So this is going to be my base sketch. Now I'm going to extrude the circle. And I said it's going to be 4 inches. So 4 inches, make sure the arrow goes up. And then we're going to name this the mug extrude. So it's a new, named it mug extrude, and I hit my check mark. So now I had the first 2 steps done. Here is going to be a change from the previous video. We're going to make the walls a little bit thicker. We're going to make them 0.2. So shell, right here, shell, click. We're going to make it a 0.2. I'm not going to bother renaming it because it's the only shell I'm going to use, so there's no point in doing that. Okay, we still want the edges to be rounded, but based on the new 0.2 dimension, we're going to make them 0.1. So I'm going to go to my fillet tool. I'm going to click right here on the outside edge of it. I'm going to click on the inside edge, and I'm just going to put a different number there. So if you get an error, it just means your number is too big. You can't make it 0.4 if the whole thing is only 0.2. So since each side is 0.1, that adds together for the 0.2 wall. Okay. So now I got a rounded top. So again, the fillet was 0.1, and it's 0.1 because over here and over here adds together for 0.2, which was our shell size. All right, now we're going to just make our handle, but to do so, we need to make an offset plane. So here's how we're going to go about doing that. I'm going to right click on the right plane right here. I'm going to say offset plane. I'm going to say 1.7. That way it's still inside the geometry of the edge of the circle over here, I mean the mug. We're going to name this our handle plane. Then I'm going to close that out with my check mark. So now I have where my handles are going to be started and drawn on, okay? We are going to draw 2 half-inch circles on the plane we just made. So they're 1/2 inch wide, in diameter on both. And then they should be 0.75 away from the top on the top one and 0.75 away from the bottom on the bottom one. So sketch on the handle plane. So again, we're drawing up here, not on the right plane, not there, up here on the one we made. But we're going to look at it from the right. I'm going to go to my circle tool. I want to use this line right here on this plane that's still given. So I'm going to make a 0.5 circle here. I'm going to make a 0.5 circle on it up here also. Next thing, I'm going to use the dimension tool, and I'm going to say from the top to the center right here, I want that to be 0.75. Same thing down here, center to the bottom. I'm going to make that one also 0.75. And we're going to name these the handle circle sketch. Check mark it. So that's where the handle is going to start and end. Next thing, I'm going to sketch on the front plane. Look at it from the front now. And I'm going to go to an arc tool. I am going to turn it just a little bit. You want to start your arc in the center right here of our circle we drew, and we're going to take it down to that one down there, okay? And how far are we going to go after we click on each one? We're just going to go until it snaps. Snaps right there. That's our tangent snap. Okay, which should be around 1.2, but the number, if depending on how you did some things, could be slightly off. Okay, so I just went from here to here with a 3-point arc tool, and then I went till it snapped. And we're going to call this our handle arc. Check mark. So now we're done with step 7. So this is the last main step of the build before we put our name and stuff on it. So we're just going to sweep, and here's how we go about doing that. Sweep tool right there. What are we sweeping from and around? So you can either click on it right here, or if you hide the part, you can click on that one and that one, and then you can re-show the part. Okay, but we have this right here. It says, where do you want to sweep it from? So I understand that you want to go from here to here, but how? So click on that. So the path is selected, and then click on the path that we just drew. And then it makes it. So check mark and isometric view it. And then if I turn off my planes by pressing P, and then I can kind of make it a little, looks nice. Okay, this is what we should have right here before we put our text on it, okay? If you want to recolor it and stuff, you can go ahead and do that by right-clicking on part, edit appearance, coffee mugs. White is pretty common. Okay, so I'll just make it white. Okay, so now you are almost done with it. So you're going to go to the next video on how to add the text to it. All right, if you need help, make sure you let me know.